Hi, how you doing? It's been a little while since I've talked to you, but my son and I, we were just talking just a couple of days ago about a conference we've been talking about a couple of years. They have conferences all the time, everywhere, all over, and we were talking about doing a PK's conference. I'm talking about a real PK's conference, not one with celebrities and mega ministries kids that look the part. I'm talking about, and I have nothing against that because, as we all know, there's a few months ago, one of our major pastors, his son was in the news, had some problems, and we don't, I heard a lot about that. And I said to myself, we don't know what caused that young man to do what he did. We don't know what happened. We're so quick to judge people and label people and say things about people. This just might be How Will You Be Judged Part 2. But I was talking to some preachers' kids, and some of them called me Uncle Edmund. Someone called me Uncle Bishop. It doesn't necessarily matter what they call me, but one young lady said, I can relate to you because you don't judge me. You don't see me as my dad does. It's like you understand young people, and I believe the reason for that is because I was once a young person, and a lot of the struggles that I dealt with in church, that because I was a quote-unquote musician, when troubles and situations happened in my life, even into my adult life, when in my first marriage, people would say, "Oh, just pray about it, God will fix it, God will fix it." But sometimes you need somebody human to talk to that understands what it is that you're really going through, understand the struggle that you're dealing with, and beloveds, hear me. I know prayer changes things, but sometimes I just need to talk to somebody. I need to vent. I need to get it out. I need to hear somebody says, I've been through that, and this is how I came out of it. We don't have a lot of mentoring in the body of Christ anymore. It seems as though the fathers of old have gone on, and those that took their place, they don't want to be fatherly figure. They just want to give you a lot of instructions. So I guess you can say the Bible is truly being fulfilled when the Apostle Paul says we have 10,000 instructors, but few fathers. And a couple of years ago, the Lord gave me a word to give to the fathers, and said it was time for the fathers to apologize to the children. And I went to a setting, a meeting, and when I gave the word, a lot of the preachers and the spiritual leaders that were there looked at me as though I was crazy, and I felt a little rejection there, and I'm still human, y'all, but I felt the rejection, and I felt, what is he talking about? But for the last 2.5 years, God has dealt with me about fathers asking their children's forgiveness, because many of the young people that I talk to today are preachers' kids, or PKs, and a lot of them don't even go to their own father's church, or if they go there, they're criticized, abused, and run down and talked about, and the life of a preacher's kid is not a very easy life, because we have to uphold not just ourselves, but we got to uphold the family, and we got to have a church face, and we got to have a face with our friends. We have to have a face with this one and that one, and I've always been different. I've never. I told people, what you see is what you get, and I believe that's why I'm able to relate to the younger people, because we have so many people say, "Do as I say, not as I do. And it was a lot of things I saw coming up as a young man in church that I should have never seen or never heard, but it happened. And as time went on, it made me look at situations so much different. Like I said, I have one natural born son, and I have an adopted son, and I have a stepdaughter. And basically, with my boys, my young men today, one of them is married, and the other one's 19. He's going to be 20 years old in a few days. I share with them the real side of me. I share with them the ugly side of me, because they're both in church. One's a musician, one's an elder in church, and I don't want them to go through what I had to go through. I keep the door open for them to come to me with their struggles, with their issues, with their problems, with things that they go through, so that I can give them of my experience, and they don't have to make some of the same mistakes I made. I have a lot of young people from other churches, from pastors or apostles or bishops or prophets, and sometimes you can't even see the problem that's in your own home, because we're so busy trying to be who people call us or what we think we are, instead of really taking care of our families like we should. I'm just talking just a little while tonight, just to let you know that this program, this conference is soon coming up, and I want you to be a part of it. I have so many young people saying, please do it tomorrow. Well, we're not going to be able to do it tomorrow, but we are preparing for it, because I don't want any more of our young people to be lost to it's not a word, but I'm making up a new word, churchdom, to religiosity, to what we call church. Because I remember coming up as a young man, they told us so much of what we couldn't do that we never realized what we could do. And the Bible specifically, Jesus said it. He said, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. But if you're telling me I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't go here, I can't go there, what kind of abundant life is that? But I'm so glad for my relationship with God. And I'm so glad that I have a relationship with God, and to know that there are things that I can do that I won't go to hell for. There are things on this earth that I can enjoy that's not going to doom me straight to hell, quote unquote. And I'm talking to you young people today to let you know that there is hope for you, even when you can't see your own way, even when you made mistakes. I don't care how many mistakes you made. I have a new love for that song. I was on the bandwagon with the rest of them when Donnie McClurkin came out with the song "We Fall Down, but we get up." And I was on the saints never fall. But it's not until you have a real Damascus Road experience that you understand falling down and God restoring you, picking you up. One of the first scriptures that I commit to memory without reading it was Galatians 6:1. It says, and you, brethren, if a brother be overtaken in a fault, you which are spiritual, restore one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself. I paraphrase it, but you understand that. In other words, don't be so quick to kill somebody if they fall, because tomorrow it might be you. And so many times God has covered our sins, covered me, covered my issues, my shortcomings, and I'm so thankful for that. And it's many of you out there who have made mistakes. You think that there's no hope. Your parents, they act like they're embarrassed of you. Can I tell you a little secret, and I'll be closing soon, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. A lot of what you do was in your parents. So they may not have told you what they've done. They may not have been as honest with you as I am with my children, but some of that stuff that you do is a part of your parents. And sometimes the embarrassment or the shame that comes is because they're remembering what they used to do, what they used to be like. But I'm here to let you know that God is a forgiver. He's a restorer. He's a deliverer. He heals the wounded hearts. He makes the wounded whole. Those people who thought that they just didn't have a hope, didn't have a chance, Jesus was always there. He was always there to restore. I'm reminded of the woman that was caught in adultery, and my question is, how was she caught in adultery? Somebody must have been watching her, or somebody set her up. And a lot of times we've been set up in positions, we've been set up by the enemy to get caught up in things. But let me explain this to you. Your mess up is God's opportunity to bless you up. I know that sounds a little corny or a little strange, but notice this: the very place that you mess up in is the place that God takes you back and restore you and give you the glory that He had assigned just for your life. Think about Moses. Moses was in Egypt, and he was raised. He was a Hebrew, but he was raised in Pharaoh's house. And when he saw the injustice of his own people, when he saw how the Egyptians made slaves and killed, and how they made slaves of the Hebrew people, it vexed his soul. And he didn't really understand then. Nobody told him who he was. But he killed an Egyptian and left and ran from Pharaoh's army and went out into the wilderness and found out who he really was. But guess what? God took him right back to Egypt and freed those slaves. God took him right back to the place where he failed, where he messed up, and brought him into a place of prominence. Who am I talking to today? Who am I helping today? That might be you. You might feel that I failed. I failed my parents. I failed the church. I failed this one. I failed myself. Well, I'm here to let you know, as Donnie says, we fall down, but we get up. A good man falls 7 times, but God picks him back up. Keep your ears to the tracks. Keep your heart turned towards us. You'll see me on Facebook, on MySpace, wherever, and we're going to be here just encouraging you, letting you know that in spite of everything that you've done, you still have hope. God bless you. I love you. If you want to send me an email, you can send it to Bishop3, number 3, John 2 at AOL.com. Bishop3, John 2 at AOL.com. Or if you're on Facebook, you're one of my friends, just drop me a note and tell me what do you think about the message, or if I'm helping at all. You can even tell me some things that you want us to talk about, and we'll talk about it. But keep your ears open, because that PK conference is coming. Need you real soon. God bless.